50 years ago, the powers of light faced the malicious forces of the dark. The resulting explosion scattered the precious Rave stones across the globe. Now, a new hero must find them and destroy the evil of the Shadow Stones. A new hero, a new Rave Master.
これがレクイエム。
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today I've done 2 of these videos so far. I have done Zash Bell and I have done Mar. But today I want to talk about my favorite Toonami anime from back in the day. Like, this is hands down my favorite. Like in the Mar video, I talked about how I went to the public library and there were manga there. Like, that's how I really got started into this world of anime. And one of those manga that I read at the public library was Remastered. Now, the only reason why I like Fairy Tail so much is because it's made by the same creator as Remastered. It's kind of got that wackiness. I feel like Remastered itself is just like a wacky, fun adventure, you know. And I feel like Fairy Tail was an attempt to be a little bit more solid. But if you guys don't know what Remastered is, let me stop gushing about it and actually tell you a little plot synopsis for the anime known as Remastered. Remastered follows Haru Glory, a teenager on a quest to find the 5 pieces of the sacred stone Rave, in order to bring peace to the world by defeating the criminal group Demon Card. Yes, straight off the synopsis on the internet, that is pretty much a basic way of saying Remastered is about a guy who needs to collect different pieces of an artifact to basically save the world. We've seen it 1,000 times before, but Remastered has something special. It's just something about it is special. Like, just listen to the opening theme just a little bit.
The sword must next become the master, seeking out the stones with a caring nosed dog. 3 heroes at once on a mission filled with danger. 3, 2, 1, time for revolution.
Yes, I know, amazing. It's basically like One Piece rap levels of good. Now, this anime was actually made by Studio Dean. It was a 51 episode anime. Also was very famous for being shown on Toonami, which if you guys don't know, Toonami is basically was a bridge for us older anime fans to really get into anime, because they had pretty much a lot of the greats back then. You know, a lot of these anime weren't as good as we made them out to be, but with rose tinted glasses, we can definitely see why Toonami shaped us the way that we are. And one thing I've always thought was cool is that in between of, I believe his name is Mishima, the actual author, I'm gonna say hero. The one thing I love about Hero's work is that he basically makes a lot of different characters, and you kind of see like his art style, because you can basically see characters that existed into an anime before, and you can see them kind of being transported into the newer anime. And even in Hero's new work, Eden Zero, you can kind of see a Erza lookalike that's actually voiced by the same person that voices Erza, which is really cool. So you can basically see like the similarities between all his different types of people. Now, Remastered is kind of old, considering it ran from 2001 to 2002, so it is very old, but it's fun anime. It's just like not necessarily even one of those turn your brain off type of anime. This anime, when I was younger, this anime had me going around and pretty much running around. Like, I would run around with all my friends and stuff. We would like play fight, and I would basically imagine that I had all his swords, which was amazing. Now, Rave has this special sword. I shouldn't say Rave, I should say Haru. Haru has this special sword called the 10 Commandments. This is basically what I used to like mimic back in the day. This sword actually has the power of like different powers, you know, depending on the transformation of the sword. I really thought it was cool. Like, Haru is the original explosion master. No, not talking about Megumin. I'm talking about Haru. So, you know, to give a deeper plot meaning, you know, you basically have this organization or this darkness called the Dark Ring. You know, they're dark stones that give you kind of magical abilities, magical powers, and different abilities to whoever owns them. And these dark stones are basically used by the Rave Kingdom. The Sophonium Kingdom, I know I'm butchering these names, they fight against them with the powerful Rave Stone. And Sheba Roses, the Rave Master, basically like the Avatar, if that makes you feel any better, attempts to destroy Sinclair, the mother of all Darkbrings, with the 10 Commandment sword that I mentioned earlier, the very, very cool sword. The aftermath of this battle actually causes a massive explosion known as the Overdrive, destroying 1/10 of the known world, Dark. Shiba being protected from this massive disaster by his special guardian dog Plu, who also shows up in Fairy Tail, who also shows up in Eden Zero. It's basically a character that has transcended all these different universes of Heroes' work. Now, this aftermath explosion known as the Overdrive basically causes all the Raves to get scattered across the world. So you pretty much can guess from here what's really going to happen. We're going to basically be running around. It's a different adventure type anime where they're basically finding the Rave Stones. 50 years later, 16-year-old Haru Glory lives in a peaceful garage island with his older sister. Shortly after Haru fishes Plu out the water, Shiba arrives wishing to reclaim Plu, but a group of terrorists known as the Demon Card organization appear to kill Shiba. Shiba tells Haru that he is the second Rave Master, entrusting the 10 Commandments to him. Seeking power to defeat the Demon Card, Haru and Plu set off on a journey to find the missing Rave Stones. Okay, so yada yada yada, grand adventure, amazing little story. I love this anime, I really do. Like I said, one of the original manga I decided to read when I was younger, and it really just stuck with me. Honestly, I won't really go too far into the story because, just know that Sieg is my favorite character. This anime has some really cool designs for its time, and some of those designs got carried over into anime like Fairy Tail. This is the only reason why I watch Fairy Tail in general, because I had heard so many bad things about Fairy Tail, but then I realized, and when I looked at the characters, I saw Plu, and Plu made me realize, okay, it's like, that's the dog thing from Rave Master, and, I realized it had to have some kind of connection, so when I looked it up and found out it was written by the same person, it's not saying that his writing is the best in the world, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to pull a Attack on Titan where the story seems like it's not really based on much, but it gets way deeper in the end. It's just basically his stories are fun. They have some cool fights. It's just mindless fun. I call Fairy Tail the junk food of anime. Like, it's really good. It tastes really good. It might not be good for you, but it tastes amazing, and it's just something you can just definitely eat fast and quick. When I'm doing these videos, I basically say that these anime should be remastered or remade, but we actually had a little bit of look of an anime like this being remastered, because they actually did a Fairy Tail versus Rave Master OVA, which I thought was really, really interesting. So we got to see what Haru would look like in some of the newer graphics. Hopefully that is a possibility that we can see Rave Master in a new remastered or redone fashion. I know that currently they are dealing with Eden Zero and they're trying to move forward with that story, but hopefully he doesn't forget about some of his older works. Honestly, anime from back then they're very hard to hold up because of the way they looked. I feel like Fairy Tail is got a good expiration date. We can go from it probably about 20 years from now, and Fairy Tail will look still pretty decent because it's in the age of HD. With that being said, guys, let me know which anime you want me to cover. I didn't really talk too much on this topic, just simply because I feel like Rave Master speaks for itself. This is one I don't really want to say, hey, if you kind of like older anime, go watch it. Definitely go watch this. It's good fun. It's really good fun. And it's a Toonami mainstay. Well, with that being said, guys, so like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.